Today, we are excited to welcome Monica Torres, who co-founded and is currently the executive director of LatinUs, the first independent Latino Hispanic theater company in Ohio, founded in 2018. Monica is a native Puerto Rican pediatrician who graduated from San Juan Bautista School of Medicine and finished her pediatric residency in 2000. She completed a postdoctoral fellowship at Case Western Reserve in genetic epidemiology. Despite her inclination for the sciences and medicine, her love for theater never stopped. She studied dramatic arts at the University of Puerto Rico, and she is a former member of a theater company in Puerto Rico as well. Some of her stage performances include Dollhouse, La Cantanta Calva, and she has participated in a Puerto Rican theater festival as well. As part of Latinus, Monica has participated as an actress and a producer in all productions. We are very excited to highlight this theater company today, and I am going to turn it over to Monica.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you, Rachel, for inviting me to do this little speech today with you guys. I'm going to be sharing my screen with a little PowerPoint presentation that I have. So you can see a little bit of what we actually do. Here we go, I think. Yes, there it is. Hold on, give me a second. I think I started. Okay, right. So as Rachel says, I'm actually a physician from Puerto Rico. I have been living now almost 20 years in Ohio, Cleveland Heights, and now in Boston Heights, actually, for a couple of years. And I always, oh, sorry. That doesn't supposed to go. I started the company 6 years ago. I wanted to bring our culture, our traditions, our language, and the theater, of course, to our Latino community, specifically here in the Clark neighborhood. Well, those are those videos that were not supposed to go off. Sorry, I apologize. What was I telling you? Yeah. So we started the company. I think I'm gonna just stick on there. I'm gonna keep on doing this, and it's gonna distract me of what I'm gonna be saying. Sorry. I don't know if I can mute this or not. I don't think I can. I'm just gonna pause. Yeah. And so as I would tell you guys, I always wanted to be an actress since I was young, and of course, my parents, especially my father, always encouraged me not to do that and go to a different direction because in Latin America and Puerto Rico, parents see that for their kids to having a profession in the arts is something that is not worth it, that is not going to make you successful, and that is very hard to do. And in some ways, it is true. So I went for my other thing that I liked, that it was medicine. So I decided to do that, and I became a pediatrician in Puerto Rico. And I worked as a pediatrician for a couple of years in Puerto Rico before moving to Ohio. My husband is also a physician. He's not from Puerto Rico, he's from Venezuela. We married in Puerto Rico and we have our kids, and then we moved to first Louisiana, and then to LA. And then to Ohio, not LA, sorry. I don't know why I have LA today. I I have another conference this morning, and I was saying also that I moved to LA. Maybe because I'm going to LA too. Is that what I have LA in my mind? I know, Louisiana. So and then I started in a Case Western Reserve doing a post fellowship in genetics epidemiology. I did that for 3 years, and I remember myself walking through the campus and seeing the theater and really dying to go inside and be part of something that was going in there. But then thinking, well, there's no many Latino characters in theater, and definitely if there's one, it's not going to have the accent that I have. So I was always afraid, to go and try for an audition. So then when I was in Puerto Rico, I always thought that I would do my own theater company, even though if I was in the medicine field, I still thought that I would be doing theater. So never imagined that I would do it in Cleveland, in a you know, in a place where actually not many people speak Spanish. So for us was like for me a dream come true. And sometimes I think still think that is a dream, that I have to wake up for that dream. And yeah, so definitely. Sorry, I'm gonna just cut this because it's throwing me off. All right. So stop sharing. There we go. Better. In the back, you can see all the posters of the plays that we have done. We started in 2018. So far, we have done 14 productions. We have been lucky because since we started in 2018, become a nonprofit organization that, by the way, I have no idea how to do that before starting actually doing it. And I have to meet with a couple of the Latino leaders who told me, Juan Molina specifically, and taught me how to, do step by step a nonprofit. I have no idea. So I did that. And after 6 months, we were able to have our 501c3. So that was our first achievement to receive that status. And then, Juan Molina also connect me with the important people that I went, met, and talked about what I wanted to do to bring the theater to the Latino community. Those people were Lillian Curry and Jennifer Coleman. So, I think I have been lucky to meet these persons and tell them my story and the way that they react to what I was saying, and their support. It has been the word for us. We started our company with, I think it was $300 in the bank account, yeah, in order to open the nonprofit. And the first grant that we received was $5,000 that we used to do those big heads that we have, the cabezudos. And it was like a street theater. And then after that, we have been in 6 years growing different foundations who have been also supporting us. And so now we have around $250,000 budget. That for a theater is still not a lot, but for us, it means the world. And we started with, $300. And so, yeah, so definitely. And we started having our shows in colleges, and we did some in Playhouse Square, in the Black Box in Playhouse Square. And then 3 years ago, we finally have our own space. So we have our own Black Box Theater, the Pivot Center, and we have 110 seats in the theater. And it has been incredible, really. And, this start because Monica Torres really wanted her art, myself, being an actress and everything, to be able to do it. And now it have turned into LatinUs Theater Company, because that's what is really this is. We bring all these stories from Latin America, a couple of them maybe also from USA, from Latinos playwrights, and we want the community, our Latino community, to feel cherished, to feel respect, to feel that we belong, that we can apport to the culture of Cleveland too. And we have seen, how we have been affecting the audience that come to see us in different ways. It doesn't matter what type of show we are presenting at that moment. It could be a comedy, it could be a drama, but there's always some comment who comes, audience could at the end came and tell me, oh, that reminds me of my grandmother. Oh, that reminds me of my parents. Oh, when I used to live in Brooklyn, now we have the Puerto Rican community like that. So, and people say, keep on doing this. This is amazing. We never had this before. So other people, well, I used to go to New York to go to the Latino theaters in New York to see our stories. So it really has been something that we have created and have grown, and we want to keep it growing to make our community proud, definitely. And so we are a professional theater. We do pay all the actors or the crew or the designers, everybody's get paid in the company. We try to sell the tickets in a very affordable way, and we do a lot of free tickets for our community too. And what else? We started just recently also we add another component to our theater, and we did the first Cleveland Latino International Film Festival. It was just last weekend. It was 3 days. That was very well received. Movies from all Latin America. It was a free event, and with the support of Cleveland Foundation also. And yeah, that has been amazing, our journey through all these years to get here and start making a name for ourselves. Of course, theater is sometimes is a very hard profession, especially for a women. And if you add the components that I'm Latina also, I would say double them. It always has been a very management world, right? So for me to be in this position, it means that I want more women to come, more women to success. Not just as a director or actress, we have many things to do in theaters, right? Backstage, or in a production, there's so many components that people actually don't think or see. And when you see a show, you don't even think about all the months that we have been rehearsing or thinking about how to block the scenes or the costumes or the set or the lights or the sound, right? Yeah, I think we are definitely very proud of what we have achieved. And we just want people to come, the audience comes and see our shows, give us an opportunity. For us, in the Clark Fulton neighborhood, we always wanted and looking for this neighborhood, these people that live here to come see us. And that sometimes is a little bit of a, how say, um, I don't find the word now. It is sometimes hard to make these people to come see us because they're not used to this type of art, right? I don't know why movies are well received by everybody, but theater, people are afraid to go see the shows. Is something that if you are not used to do since you are young, then it's very hard for adult people to come and enjoy. So that's something that we have been trying really hard to change. How we can make the adults that never have been in the theater, yeah, our Latino community, to come and see us. So we are always working towards that. And yeah, any ideas are well received. Definitely. So right now, we are getting ready for our next show that is going to be in February. And we will start rehearsings in January, but production already, of course, started. We have to think about all the things that I already told you to block the scenes, direct the scenes, set and stuff like that. It's going to be a play from Argentina, and it's going to be a comedy. It's going to start in February 14. And then after that, we're gonna have another one in September. In May, June 25, we're gonna bring a theater company from Puerto Rico that they're gonna be presenting their show in our theater. And also we have our fundraising. We only do one fundraising a year, and our annual fundraising is gonna be in December 7th. And it's gonna be actually a masquerade theme, so everybody can come in whatever fine costumes they want. Yeah. So basically, I think that, I mean, what I have learned, it is not to be afraid, um, that to think that never is too late to do something. Doesn't matter the time, the age, the situation, or the place. And also, I think it's so important that networking, it is unbelievable, a very important tool to make your dreams come true. Because through networking, you find people that uh, believe in what you are doing and helping you. So I'm talking, of course, about the foundations, especially because they are the ones who make us be here. Definitely. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what else to tell you.
Monica, well, thank you. Let's jump into some questions.
Yeah.
So you mentioned working to really engage residents and bring folks into the theater. Can you talk a little bit about what are some of the ways that you're working to do this to elevate your theater and have them come in for a show?
So we try, the other Latino organizations that are many here in this area, we try for them to collaborate with us, yeah, and through their social medias, through their website, so they can make people know that we exist, that we are here, that we are doing this, because even though we are already in our 6th year, many people, sometimes when they come for the first time, say, well, I have no idea you were here, guys, right? So it's very important. And now these days that it's not like when we used to be kids that we watch TV and listen to radio. Now everything is through social media, right? So the way of marketing is very different. And how can you get to people if you don't have the radio, you don't have the TV, you just have maybe Facebook is the most common, right? Instagram. So I think it's so important for the other Latino organizations to collaborate together. Yeah. And sometimes I struggle with this. I have to say, it's not an it's not an easy task, but I continue doing it, and hopefully in the future we will have more organizations who will just want to collaborate with us. And as easy as to, share a post about our upcoming production could get to so many people, right?
In addition to potentially collaborating with other Latino organizations, community partners, how might you be collaborating with some of the other theaters that are in town?
So we actually have a collaboration with 2 theaters, especially Seat of the Pants, and they have performed in our theater. So they have rent our facilities because they are a company theater who has been already, I think, like 15 years going around, but they never have had their own space. So with this, of course, there's no other, how say, Latino independent companies here that can make their decisions on their own and can be part with us or collaborate. So I'm just talking about Seat of the Pants because they are definitely the ones who collaborate with us and be in the space and always support us in all our shows. They comes and the people comes, and same with us to them. We also have the Ensemble company who is well, used to be in Cleveland Heights. Right now they are trying to find a space. And Dovama Theater, I have met so many artistic directors that have come to the theater, seen our shows, and then have come talk with me and have, tour. And so that really had been important for us because it gave us a seat to the table in this theater world, definitely. So we feel like we have been seen.
How do you decide what plays to present?
Yeah, so that's a very, very good question. So we read a lot of plays. We have been every month reading a play. Sometimes we do it in collaboration with the actors. Yeah. But most of the time, really, I am reading, and then when I like a show, then I send it to my assistant director, that is Kevin Bauso. And also I sometimes send to the board members some of the scripts for them after I have read it. I said, I want to present this, right? And then they kind of tell me yes or no, or the final decision at the end is going to be myself. But, I always ask for them, so what they think. And so far, it has been good. We only have one of our shows who was not that well received by some part of a community, not the Latino community, but and in that we chose those plays or productions in advance, so in a year, because we have to do the season, right? Like this, I already have the 24-25 season. They're already chosen, right? So we always do these productions, taking advantage for at least a year before. So sometimes it's hard when you have chosen play for copyrights and everything, and then something happened that then it make you think, should I keep on doing the show or not? Because of whatever situation is happening in the world at that moment. And so that something that really is important for us. But at the end, the theater is an art that wants to move people, that wants to make people think. It's not just comedy, it's not just to have a good time. It is also to making a change in at least one of the audience who is sitting there watching the show. So, and that's what I think is so important, to not just go with the light version of theater, but the social version of theater.
As you think back to the productions that you have hosted thus far, what have been some of your favorites?
Well, I have many favors, I have to say. Every time that we do something, our production is we grab something specifically from that one and you like it. But I will definitely say it myself. My favorite one is called Tiempo Muerto. Is Dead Time, and that was from Puerto Rico, and it was written in 1956. And it's about, the jibaros, that is the people who lives in the countryside in Puerto Rico are called the jibaros. And during the sugarcane season in that time in Puerto Rico, there's no sugarcane anymore, but during the 30s, 40s, and 50s, there was a lot of growing of sugarcane. And of course, the companies were Americans who were having their workers and stuff. But the thing was how these people struggle. They have almost nothing to eat. They were so poor, and the bad choices that they have to make in order to have a little bit of food on their table. And it was a very emotional play, definitely. Yeah.
So you mentioned the International Latin Film Festival that you recently hosted. Can you share a little bit more about how this came to be and what the experience was like?
So we, for months, we were talking during the for meetings. I have the idea, and I told them I have this idea about doing a film festival, Latino film festival. Because why? Because we have all the equipment needed. We have a big, huge screen that is 25 feet by 25 feet. We have an amazing projector with a resolution for all that big screen. And I say it would be great if we can do, bring all these stories, because of course we have the amazing Cleveland International Film Festival, right? That has been going for more than 40 years. And they do present Latino movies, but it's just a section, right? And we said, what about we do a full for this moment was 3 days, last weekend, full movies from Latin America. The reception was amazing. Everybody went like, yeah, we want this. And of course we have English subtitles for the movies. And I think we have 2 movies that were in English, and then we have the Spanish subtitles for the English ones. Oh, there was Spanglish, right? So the experience was amazing. The movies, I mean, when I said let's do this, I knew that it would take, work, but I didn't know that I have to watch so many movies to choose, right? What movies we're gonna be presenting. So we were to this, we are part of this website called Film Freeway. And in there is where all the festivals are, and the movie directors submit their movies, right? And I stopped the submission because I couldn't watch any more movies. We have 160 movies submitted to us. So we were a panel of 4 people watching all these 160 movies. So at a certain point, I said, okay, that's it. That's a lot of work. But I really enjoy. Of course, I love movies too. And I think we present really a good amount of movies from different Latin American countries, and we have like 2 from Venezuela. And we actually gave also an award, an Audience Choice Award at the end, and went to a movie from Venezuela with a very important social theme. And yeah, and we have the opening with some food, and people were enjoying themselves. And I really could see the appreciation of the audience for us to do this.
Outside of the productions, do you have any kind of school partnerships or community programming where maybe the youth in the community might be able to come in and start to get connected to theater?
Right. We have tried. We did kids camp during summer, but that was back in 22, I think. And for us, it has been pretty hard to continue doing it because we are a very small organization. I only have an assistant, and for me to do this, it requires people, and then it requires money to pay these people, right? So it's definitely in our goals to be able to do like a summer camp for kids, something that is longer, or even a young studio theater kind of, right, school thing. But so far we hasn't been able to do it. We need more money for that to be able. And then yeah, we have definitely schools that come to see our shows. Um, so far really have been the private schools. We have tried with the public school systems to bring the kids, especially, around us, we have a couple of schools that have a lot of Latino students. So far, we hasn't been able to bring the students. Of course, sometimes they ask for matinees, and for us to do a matinee is hard because most of the actors have jobs during their days, right? So we only have matinees on Sundays, and then Sundays school is closed. So we are still figuring out how we can do and bring the public school system students to see our shows.
Monica, let's look ahead to the next 5 to 8 years. What is your vision for the theater company?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, our vision is definitely to bring more audience to our seats. So far, I will say we have between 60 and 70% of our seats filled when we have shows, and we want that to go 100%. We want, as we talked already, be able to have an education part in Spanish for students that just arrived to USA and are living in the community. We will want to have more collaboration with other Latino organizations around us. And myself, I would love to keep on having collaborations with other theaters that are around us. And they're not, of course, Latina, but it doesn't matter. It's still theater. And I think the mission of the theater, it is definitely to provide food for the soul. That's what I like to say. Right. So
For those,
yeah, I continue doing this and always looking for somebody who's gonna replace me. I'm always have that in my mind. So I'm always looking who can be the next person who can be in my shoes.
for those of us on the call, how can we best support you and your work?
So I think the best way is definitely go to our website and sign in for our newsletter so you can see what are we doing, and then come see us. And if you are in social media and you see one of our posts, if you reshare, that will definitely will mean the words to us. And, that potentially grows those sharings.
And one last question before we wrap. So, what would you say was the biggest lesson that you learned switching from kind of the world of medicine to the world of theater?
I think, since theater here are almost all of them nonprofits, and medicine is definitely something that is more individual, right? When you are doing it, when you are in your profession. And so moving to nonprofit, I think the networking for me has been the most important thing. Learning about different organizations and knowing people and talking with these people and finding a way to get your message to them in a way that they will cherish with you what you want to do. So networking for me, I think, is something super huge.
Monica, we thank you for all that you are doing to bring Hispanic culture to the theater world here in Cleveland. And we'll encourage everyone on the call. I'm going to share the website in our follow-up email. Please check them out, share their mission, attend a show. Very much looking forward to all that's to come out of the LatinUs Theater Company.